Hello everybody, this is Marie and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. And today we're going to be talking about good old Joe. Joe, resident in the White House. Some might call him president, but we're not going to be boggled by too much details. But yes, we're going to be talking about Joe today. And before we get started, guys, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. I really love the love and the attention, so I want to drive traffic to the channel. Thank you to my current subscribers, and thank you for my potential future uh, subscribers. And my YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble channels. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate the encouragement. Now, for those interested, I'm going to be using today the Robin Wood Tarot, Tarot deck. Pretty cool. Got it not long ago. So I have a list of questions. Today we're going to do a deep dive about Joe. So this is going to take a while, guys. Just sit back and we're going to do this together. So we want to know what happened to real Joe. That's the first question. And depending on what the question, what the card says, we're going to ask how many Joes are playing this role, quote unquote, right? And follow-up question 2 is, why did Joe go to Ukraine instead of Ohio? And depending on how that answers, we want to know, will Joe ever visit Ohio? And then afterwards, if all goes well, we have a bonus question. So just hang in there, guys, and let's see what the cards wants to share. So my feeling was that original Joe was probably not even the Joe that plays the campaign, in the campaign. I think original Joe left a while ago. So, you know, let's see what the cards wants to say about original Joe, Joe Biden. Joe Biden, the original. What happened to original Joe? Because if you look at my thumbnail, you can see different faces of Joe. So, but what happened to original Joe? Right? Inquiring minds wants to know. First card, Moon. Second card, Ten of Wands. 10 of Swords in the past. Justice, present. Emperor, potential outcome. Seven of Pentacles. And Page of Swords. So wow. So the Moon tells me that Joe was not exactly a good guy. So usually the Moon is about being cautious. There's a lot of information that are secretive, that have yet to be revealed. The darkness, it could be primal fear, but in this particular situation, what I'm getting is that Joe was not really walking with the light. He was pretty much a darkness type of person, and really like dwelling there. And also there's a lot of more information about Joe that we don't know, that have yet to be revealed. So that's interesting. So Joe 10, so you see the 10 of Wands. So Wands is fire, motivation, inspiration, and all that jazz. Usually that's a beautiful, fire in itself is a beautiful card, but 10 is usually completion, end of something, end of era. So, you know, all 10 means the end of a chapter. And in this particular situation, you see this gentleman walking away, and he has like all these wands, He looks tired. He looks overwhelmed. So usually this card of, you know, this chapter for him is no longer, he's left the scene. So, okay, in the past, 10 of swords. So swords mean to surrender. Thoughts, information, uh, spiritual awareness. Swords is also truth, cutting right in the heart of the matter. And so in the past, so again, another 10, another ending. So you're seeing two ending card on a spread. In the middle is justice. So that tells me that he has been gone for a very long time, because this is a drastic card. When you see that card with justice, for me that's death. I mean that's how a death card would look like, and that's one of them. Death is not usually death, the death card that you see, but death card is a combination of cards. So when you see a 10 of sword and you see justice in the middle, that person is no longer original Joe. Is no longer. And I will not be surprised if campaign Joe was not real Joe, because the surrender card, you know, it looks like he has been completed. He has been ended for a very long time. So he had met his justice at one point. Uh, uh, that, you know, sealed his fate, so to speak. So, okay, that's interesting. And then the emperor tells me that the alliance, or the good guys, or if you believe that there is a plan and that there is a group of people that are working for the good, then that particular group is the one that was behind what happened to original Joe. So apparently Joe was very much into the, you know, into the power, into you know, greed and all that good stuff. And eventually, the Page of Swords. So Page of Sword, I think people are starting to kind of sort of, a page is a pivot. Page is a new beginning, but it's a small beginning, it's a small pivot. Is this to tell you, I think the majority of the people in the population, I think some, in a deep subconscious level, I think deep intellectual level, I think they know, or I think they're starting to pivot to the idea that maybe original Joe is no more, and that there is an actual puppet that's puppeting this whole um, crew, administration, whatever you want to call it. Okay, interesting. So now that we know what happened to Joe, we're gonna want to ask, how many people are playing Joe? How many characters, actors, NPCs, whatever you want to call it? Is it clone? Is it like a double? Is it like a CGI? But how many physical bodies, oops, how many people are playing the Joe character? Because now that we know original Joe is no more, has been no more, I mean, we can even now assume that campaign Joe was not real Joe. So we've been without a real Joe for a long time. Oops. Okay, the card is agreeing. That's interesting with that. Ace of Swords. Yep, okay. Because it means yes. So, okay, let's, how many Joes? How many Joe Bidens are playing this role? How many Joe does it take? Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacle to answer the question. We have Two of Cups, situation, deck card in the past, recent past, Page of Pentacle, present. We got Six of Wands as a potential outcome. Again, we're seeing that same Ace of Swords. Nine of Swords. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So we asked how many Joes are playing the role. Hmm. The first, it's so interesting. What's throwing me off is the Nine of Pentacle. So Nine of Pentacle, that can be answered in two ways. That can be because it's kind of layered. It can be nine about people that they have like on call to play Joe, because anything that deals with Pentacle is real, is is assets, is tangible, it's something that's factual. And the other way of looking at it, it could be like they have like about nine people on a list, on a roster, right? And then so those are independent people, because nine is a independence card, somebody who's free, somebody, so it's a different person altogether. It could be nine different people. So that's interesting, that are on a roster, like on a list. And then as a backup. And then the Two of Cups tells me, huh, the Two of Cups is usually an agreement card. It's usually, could be marriage, commitment of sort. So that two is telling me that right now there's about two Joes that alternates, that does the role. So they have like a list of nine employees that they can tap in at any given time. But right now, on an active contract, right, quote unquote, there are two that are playing the role. Ha! That are committed, that are uh, uh, that are active on the playing field. It appears that these nine are on the bench somehow. So the dead card in the past, is to follow up, to kind of let us know original Joe is no more, that he have met his ending. So whoever is playing the role now is a young person, uh, somebody who pays attention, and possibly getting some good money from this too, because the page is usually um, uh, a pentacle, uh, page, all page on messages, but also it's a new beginning, a small beginning. So whoever is playing the role is probably an actor who just started being an actor, or somebody who's very young in age, or something to that effect. So this is what it's telling me. Somebody who really pays attention, very exacting, or who's studying, or probably a young student. Damn. But all of the above can apply. So that's what that Page of Pentacles is telling me. So again, to almost to contrast that, old Joe and whoever's playing is two different individuals. That person is significantly younger, right? And potential outcome, it looks like they change them pretty often, those actors, because either they get tired, either they get and when they do, they get like, raving references. They probably get a lot of good money, but they tend to leave. Uh, so they, after a while, they tend to leave. Uh, I want to say often, because that job will gets to you. The role of playing Joe is stressful for a lot of these actors. So I guess they change them on a regular basis. And I think with that Ace of Swords, that tells me that I think people are starting to realize that maybe there is more than one Joe, and that there is original Joe is no more, and that there is a puppet that's actually um, playing the role, that there's a actor that's doing this gig, so to speak. So I think a lot of people are coming to that realization in a big and meaningful way. Okay, so there's about nine in a roster, two actively under contract, the rest is on the bench, and then they're usually younger people that's playing the role, and then they tend to move uh, often because it gets stressful. Okay, because I think you guys, it makes sense. Because I don't know if you remember, there was one actor that came out of public and says he has cancer, and everybody was shocked. And then that that then uh, Joe, the image of Joe disappeared. We haven't heard from him, so I'm assuming that actor was replaced by another Joe, because the Joe that took the test, the doctor's test the other day, was a very healthy Joe. So I'm guessing another Joe had to take the place. So when they say that Joe was healthy and cognitive and in good health, that tells me that whoever is playing the role was healthy and in good health and in good cognitive, uh, optimized, whatever. Uh, so that's, yeah. Um, why did Joe go to Ukraine instead of Ohio? So let's see what the cards wants to say about that. Why did Joe go to Ukraine, or the image of Joe, whoever's puppeting Joe, why did they go to Ukraine instead of Ohio? Because I would assume if you are a PR firm, and I'm pretty sure they have like sophisticated people at the White House, no PR person would tell you to go to Ukraine on President's Day when you're the President of the United States. It makes no freaking sense. It's just bad PR. It's a bad look, bad optics. No matter, especially if you have problems at home, you could have postponed, you could have waited. There's so many ways. So let's see, why go to Ukraine instead of Ohio? Two of Pentacle, Justice. Two of Pentacles to answer the question. Justice to a situation. Star in the past, recent past. Wheel of Fortune, present. Eight of Pentacle, potential outcome. Two of Cups, clarification. King of Pentacle, clarification. So we ask, why go to Ukraine? So the two is usually trying to wrestle with come to terms or trying to reconcile. So as if there was a struggle here. Um, for them to decide whether to go or not. That's interesting. However, they did go to Ukraine, but this is the Justice card that came about. Now, usually when I see the Justice card, it means actual justice instead, obviously, but it's also timing. When I see Justice card appearing in a different context, so to feel the justice in the situation, so it looks like the timing, for some reason, they had to go over there, or it was important, because the fact that this is coming in a meaning, as a major arcana, the universe really wants us to pay attention to that. So I think maybe it was done on purpose. Maybe it was done. Maybe the timing of that voyage, of that visit to Ukraine, it was important so that a particular group of people wake up or see something, see the truth about what's really happening. Because this is how the card is coming through. They're not talking about Ukraine. They want to focus about the look of it. It looks like the timing of the voyage. So it looks like whoever is puppeting, whoever is doing this, they wrestle with this at first, but ultimately, it was the timing of this. It seems to have been important. They wanted to emphasize something. Why on President's Day and you go in another country? So they wanted to emphasize for the, I guess, for the public to see something with that justice card, because justice is truth. Because all swords is about cutting right in the heart of the matter. There's no confusion. Once the sword of justice comes down, right? It's pretty cut and dry. So they wanted for us to see that distinction as a population. And the star, so usually the star is a hope and healing, but it's also vulnerability. Maybe all of it applies. All of the above, we can answer that question, applies, because we are in a vulnerable situation. And also, it's layered. In order for us to come to terms, in order for us to heal, to move in a new direction, the truth needs to be exposed. We need to come to terms with what's happening, because all of this provides healing in some degree. So, if you don't see the dysfunction, if you're not aware of it, accept it, then how can you move on? How can you heal? How can you, okay. So this is interesting. And then also further, it's the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is showing change. So things have shifted somehow. Things are changing, either in the consciousness of people or, and I think a lot of people are sensing that or feeling it, because now people are really paying attention as a potential outcome. Because the Eight of Pentacles, you see this little boy, he looks like an apprentice, and he's really, paying attention to his craft. He's really perfectioning his craft. He's really being meticulous, analyzing. He's really working at it, and you see all the work that he's done here. This is the labor of his work. So he's also now, a lot of people, because of that, the timing of the voyage, the timing of the travel, the visit to Ukraine, and how people are working up. So the timing of that happening was crucial, it seems, because it shifts the consciousness of people somehow. People who have not been paying attention so far, now they are paying attention. Now they're really paying very close attention to what, Puppet Joe's, whoever is current, is doing. And so people are coming to an understanding, either within themselves, or people are starting to talking to other people. It's like, well, maybe this is not right, because it's not a good look. So people are coming to term to certain truths. So yeah, obviously, so this is what the universe is trying to say. So yes, that, his attention, that Ukraine's is more important. They are committed to helping Ukraine and to providing them with money, with funds, because King of Pentacles is about something tangible, about providing resources, somebody who's very successful. So they're more concerned about making Ukraine the sense that the people got from that visit was that, Ukraine is more important. And we've seen that with all the money that's been dumped over there. And they're more concerned about Ukraine being comfortable as opposed to, the American people. So people are coming to that realization. So this is how the card chose to answer about the visit to Ukraine. So that's interesting. Sometimes it's not the answer that you're looking for, but I guess that's the answer that the universe wanted us to hear, right? So I guess at this point, should we ask, is Joe ever gonna go to Ohio to visit? I think not, because he sent Pete Buttigieg. Wow. So let's see what the cards wants to share about that. And let's see if there's hope for this man, for this crew or administration. Um, is Joe ever going to visit? Is Joe going to visit Ohio anytime soon? I think that's the question in light of what happened over there. To answer the question, Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Cups, situation, Knight of Pentacle in the recent past, 8 of Pentacle in the present, Tower, King of Pentacle, Nine of Pentacle. So the card is not giving me an answer here, but it shows to answer a different way. So let's go with that. Interesting. Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune means change. That something is going to change. Or event is going to, an event is going to occur. But in this, but with the Wheel of Fortune, it feels like a shift in consciousness for this field, because the other card that comes to it is the 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups is a card of all tens are ending. Now, usually when you see the 10 of Cups, it's like you reach, you're in an emotional, happy place. It's a card of fulfillment, contentment. But in this particular situation, it means a facade. So it's as if to tell you that the facade is going to end somehow. So I think maybe people in general is not gonna like Joe, or probably not gonna expect anything from Joe. I mean, it looks like whatever image that people had of Joe or the administration is crumbling, is shifting. Knight of Pentacle. Knight of Pentacle is usually, so all Pentacles deals with money, assets, anything tangible, anything real. So the Knight is usually very slow. So it's as if, this was planned for a very long time, and that plan has been slowly being executed, or slowly coming into fruition. That's another way of looking at it. So if there's a person that's controlling this board game, that's controlling this play, it looks like they have been crafting this script, let's just put it that way, that what we're seeing right now for a very long time. It's been crafted, it's been scripted, it's been slowly coming to fruition. Because the whole point of this was for us to pay attention, was to really coming to terms that this facade, it's a facade. This whole Joe crew is a facade. And now people are really paying attention to that. Oh my God, it's a puppet. Right? And so that Tower card at the potential outcome, usually Tower is sudden event. So I want to say no, that I don't think Joe is going to go, and there's probably going to be other events that's going to prevent Joe from going, or there's going to be some other event that's going to shift the narrative. Interesting. Divert people's attention from what happened in Ohio. False flag or whatever they do. So that's interesting. So yeah, the Tower card that tells, I want to go with no. That they're probably going to create another event to shift the narrative with that Tower card. And King of Pentacle. So usually King of Pentacle, when I see this card, it's usually somebody's successful, somebody's resourceful, somebody. But I think in this particular situation, I feel like this applies to the whole population, the whole, uh, whatever your political leanings. I think that means that people are really coming to terms. People are really seeing, people have receipts now. That's what I'm trying to say. And people are more aware. People have facts and evidence on their side, and they're coming to the realization in a big way. That was a major red pill moment. And with that Nine of Pentacle, again, Pentacle deals with facts, anything tangible, anything. A lot of people are starting to think independently. A lot of people are starting to think outside of the brainwashing, because, again, action speaks louder, right? If you're seeing like, you're in a committed relationship with a man. I'm going to use man because I'm a woman, and you think that you're in a committed loving relationship, yet that man is giving his all these resources to the mistress, Ukraine. You're going to start to feel some type of way. And every time more paychecks is going to the mistress, you're really getting bitter. And then when you look at the credit cards, you see that the credit cards receipt, you see that the money is not coming to, to pay for the bills at home, is paying the mistress's bill. So I think everybody, the American people at this point, they're that woman who's opening the bank statement and seeing that all the money is going to the mistress. I think this is what's happening right now. So the card did not answer. Did not answer whether Biden is coming to Ukraine. The card answered a different way. So I think the card is not going to be boggled by details like that. It's not important, but that's the takeaway. So I think, no, he's not coming to Ukraine. He's not going to Ohio. That's my answer. I think that was a very nice way to answer no. The cards can be so kind sometimes. So that's interesting. So the last question that I have, if you made it so far, might as well stay a little bit longer, right? Will Joe finish his term? Because, well, the other day, Joe has a physical, like a full-blown physical, and everybody, the doctors, they had the gall to say that Joe was well, like in top shape. I was shocked. And it makes sense, because we know a puppet, an actor, a double, whatever, is playing Joe. So, of course, that person is in high form. So the doctor did not lie. We have to be able to discern the truth here. And those who have understood exactly what the doctor said, whoever is playing that role is in top shape. So he can continue playing the role. But original Joe is no more. So the question is, the only way for something to happen to actor Joe is if they decide that he's no longer playing the role, or they're tiring of playing the charade. So as long as Joe is okay, whoever's playing the actor, or those actors, because we know there's a list of 9, and there's 2 that's on active, that's 9 on the bench, there's 2 that's actively playing the role at any given time. Like, they all have their shift, right? This charade is not going to end until Joe is no more. So if Joe keeps on being healthy, the image of Joe, we're going to be in this paradigm, in this reality for a while. So the question to ask is, will Joe finish his term? That's the first domino to fall, in my opinion, because, if a doctor can flat out lie, well, he didn't lie, but you know what I'm saying. So they're going to keep on playing that charade until the very end. That's my assumption. I'm hoping the card will say something different. Okay. Would Joe finish his term? The first term of his presidency. So whoever's controlling this Joe or those Joes, the puppet master, is it part of the plan, right? To finish, for Joe to finish this term. Okay, I'm seeing the Judgment card. I'm seeing the Tower. Situation. Six of Cups in the past. 3 of Pentacles present. Ace of Cups, potential outcome. The World. Clarification. And 8 of Cups. Clarification. Wow. Okay. So, yes, he will finish his first term. Ace of Cups as potential outcome. All aces are yes. So, based on the way, now obviously things can change, but based on current events, based on how the game is being played right now, it looks like that the plan is for him to forge your, to finish the term of his presidency. Okay. Judgment card. So the Judgment card is a card of awakening. It's a soul deep awakening. It's basically coming out of a coma and being awake, or it's a soul deep awakening. For some people, it's a light bulb moment. For something, it's like, you shaken to the core. So this whole administration is about disclosure. It's about awakening people. It's about, I'm not saying the shaking the baby, but it's basically that moment, shaking the baby to the point that you either die or you're awake. And in this situation, I think it means both. And the Tower moment is the situation that tells me, there's going to be a lot of out of the blue moments that's going to force you to awaken you. And I think we've felt that there has been a shift since the beginning of this year, that there's been like an onslaught of, it's as if there's an acceleration, right, of with that Tower, an acceleration that, it events are occurring faster, quicker, and whether you want to pay attention or not, you have to, because a lot of it is on the news. So there's going to be a lot of those Tower moments that's going to come about, events out of nowhere that's going to force you to think, that's going to force you to awaken. Again, the Judgment card. 6 of Cups. So 6 of Cups is a nostalgia card, holding on to the past, holding on to. So I think as things are getting crazy, it's going to be a charity card as well. But in this particular situation, as things are getting crazier, people are going to want to hold on to their humanity. People are going to want to hold on to their emotional bonds, like friends, friendship, family. And I think in some degree, some people's going to want to hold on to the past or how things used to be, but I don't think people really realize that how things used to be was a dysfunction. It was an illusion. Present 3 of Pentacles. I think people will have to come to the realization that they're going to have to work together on a local level. Going to have to work together to unite, right? Because 3 of Pentacles is about tangible, uh, like coming together in a meaningful way. Like, I think that's probably what they want to do. The whole when we go one, we go all kind of thing. This is what's jumping at me. They want people to come together in a meaningful way. So I think the whole point of this charade, if you want to call it that, um, is for people to wake up and to come together. So yes, the answer, yes, he is gonna finish his term. God damn. And we need to go through this period of craziness, of tower modes, because we're gonna have a series of events. It's gonna be like an attack. That's how we're gonna feel it. People who are already waking up, and people who have not, it's gonna be experienced for the first time. But it's gonna be an onslaught, it feels, with that tower. Because they want to wake up as much people as possible. The world card means that because it needs to be, it's coming across as if it has to be done this way, because that's the only way for us to go to the next phase of the plan. If you believe that there is such thing, whether it's cosmic or not, but the fact that the world card is coming, major arcana, it's no joke. It's as if the universe wanted this way. This is some bullshit. Because that's the only way for us to level up. Because every time I see this card, the war card, is for me that we have to complete a chapter successfully, and in order for us to move on to the next chapter. So it has to be done. It appears, at least that's how the universe is choosing. Again, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope something occurs, EBS and stuff and all that jazz, but apparently it's not going to happen this way. Not with the way the current situation, the way the current plan or the current timeline is unfolding. And the eight of swords, so they want 80% of the population. I think probably mean at this point 80% of the people that are still asleep to be so disgusted, to be so awakened that they want to move on from Joe. So I'm taking 2 more cards just to see. At this point, why not? So, so yeah, like I said, different opportunities gonna present itself for us to be awaken ourselves on emotional deep level. So there's gonna be more of these tower moments for sure. And again, Lover's card, they want us to come together, because Lover is Gemini. Communication is, again, lovers coming together. So that's it. Ooh. This was a trip, right, guys? I don't know about you, but that's a lot to unpack right here. Thank you guys for sticking with me for the end of this video. That was interesting. I don't even know how to wrap this up, but I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Again, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. If this content is helpful, meaningful to you, and provided you with any type of insight, I know you did for me. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.